Okay, Lila. Even yesterday, I sent you a detailed notes for the entire topic. Did you go through it?
Yes.
Yes. So is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah, the basic cell will remain the same, but whenever we are talking about each and every organelle, we are showing you the picture of that particular thing in that particular slide. Did it confuse you?
Like kind of, but now it's better. It's okay. Thank you.
Okay, so as and when we get to know about each and every organelle in detail, whenever you see the picture, you will be able to identify it. Okay? Right, because can someone please volunteer to recap the contents or just summarize what we did so far so that we can again start? Till which cell organelle did we study in the last lesson? Does someone remember? Anyone remember? I guess we did till mitochondria, according to me. Or no?
No, Miss, I think we stopped in nucleus.
Okay, we stopped at nucleus. Okay, great. Thank you, because I'm doing 9B and C, and I lost, we missed your class because of the map test, and never mind, we should cover the syllabus. So can someone please recap, or do you want me to do it?
Can I answer?
Yeah,
can I speak about it?
Please go ahead.
Okay. So in a plant, in any cell, there are three components that are common in both plant and animal cells, which are the cell membranes, the cytoplasms, and nucleus. They're present in both plants and animal cells. Now there are different different parts in a plant cell that aren't present in an animal cell, which include the cell walls, chloroplasts, vacuoles for the most part, and I think that's pretty much it for the plants. And then for the animals, they have
vacuoles. Are they? I'm sorry to interrupt, sweetie.
Yeah.
Vacuoles, are they present in the animal cell or no?
In the book, they mentioned that they have like vacuole-like structures. They're not necessarily vacuoles, but they have a similar structure almost. Yes.
Either very small vacuoles, or they are present or not present in a few animal cells, or they are present as vesicles or vacuoles, right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And then we also spoke about the different parts in a nucleus, about the DNA, the nucleolus as well, and I think that's it. I think that's all we studied about last lesson.
Okay, great. So we started studying about the organelles itself, and we first discussed plasma membrane, right? So the plasma membrane, it is present in both an animal cell as well as a plant cell. But in a plant cell, it is again lined by the outer cell wall, which is rigid and made up of cellulose, right? Thank you so much, sweetie. That was a very good, clearly explained and very good recap. Okay, so let's go through these organelles, which we did already before we move on.
Miss, can you invite Nermeen?
Sure. Is it N-A-R-M-E-N?
N-U.
N-U-R-M-E-N. Okay. Just check. No, it says we couldn't find any matches.
Double E, not one E.
Double E-N.
I'm ready.
No. Is this the one? Norman Shamim Muhammad?
Yes.
Okay, great. We invited her. All right, then we discussed about the cell wall. Cell wall, it is a fully permeable layer, did we? Yes, after discussing the cell wall and cytoplasm and vacuoles, we discussed about the nucleus, right? Okay, never mind. Let me just revise it first, and then you can stop me wherever I didn't cover so far. Okay, so cell wall, it is found only in plants. As we all know, it is made up of a polysaccharide known as cellulose. Okay, and it is found in plants, also in bacterial cells and fungi. In bacteria, the cell wall is made up of a substance known as peptidoglycan, and in fungi, it is made up of a substance known as chitin. Okay, so the cell wall, it is fully permeable, unlike the plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is semi-permeable, letting in and out only the few substances, selective substances, whereas cell wall, it is fully permeable. It is very rigid and tough, and it gives the shape to a plant cell. Okay, so it supports and protects the cell and found outside of the cell membrane. Of course, it is present outside by the plasma membrane, inside in a plant cell, and also in a bacterial and fungal cell. So inside the cytoplasm, the material which is present is, inside the cell membrane, the material which is present, it is known as the cell cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is present in both animal and plant cells, and it is the place wherein the various chemical reactions take place and wherein various other cell organelles are present. Okay, so cytoplasm, it is a clear jelly. It is nearly all water. About 70% of water in many cells is present in the cytoplasm. It contains many substances dissolved in it, especially proteins, and many different metabolic reactions. All the chemical reactions of life take place in the cytoplasm. In the simple cells like prokaryotic cells, even the genetic material, it is present in the cytoplasm itself. Okay, it provides a medium for chemical reactions to take place. As you can see, all the other organelles, they are present in the cytoplasm itself. So let's talk about the next organelle, which is nucleus. Nucleus, whenever you're talking about the cell organelles, the most important of them, it is the nucleus. Okay, so we have the information about nucleus on your page number 21. The nucleus is where the genetic information is stored, and this helps the cell to make the right sort of proteins. Okay, so the protein synthesis, it takes place in the, yeah.
Can you invite Nermeen again?
Sure. 18 attendees, I did not download the attendance as well. Nermeen. Are we calling her? Yeah. All right, and the information is kept in the chromosomes, which are inherited from the organism's parents, and the chromosomes are made up of DNA. So the genetic material, it is present in the DNA, it is present in the form of chromosomes. And chromosomes are very long, but so thin that they cannot easily be seen even using the electron microscope. However, when the cell is dividing, they become short and thick and can be seen with a good light microscope. Did we discuss all this in our last lesson? So the chromosomes are the structures which are, you can see it's like a double helix structure. Okay, let me show it to you. So you can see the chromosomes. These are the chromosomes. If you want to see a single chromosome, it looks like this. It has a ladder-like structure or a double helix structure in which the bases are arranged in various combinations. Okay, depending upon the combinations of these bases, the various proteins are made. Okay, so you can also see that the nucleus, it controls the normal activities of the cells, and it contains the DNA. It is bounded by a nuclear envelope which has pores in it. Okay, so this is the outer lining of the nucleus. It is the nuclear envelope which has pores, and it is usually the largest organelle which is present in the cell. It has a fixed number of chromosomes that carry genes, and genes control the cell's characteristics. Okay, so in detail about genes and chromosomes, we are going to talk about in the further topics. For now, you need to know that the genes, chromosomes, and the genetic material, it is present basically in the nucleus of the cell. Okay, girls, just give me a moment, please.
Hello? Wow! This is such a wonderful game.
Yes, girls. I'm sorry for that. Okay, so you can see the nuclear membrane, like the plasma membrane, it is also a double membrane, as you can see, and you can see the pores also in the nuclear pores which are present in the membrane, which allows the exchange of substances. Okay, it is something like this, which you can see the nuclear pores, and also they are connected to the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum is also an organelle present in the cell, which we'll talk about it now, the next after this. Okay, so inside the nucleus you can see the genetic material like this. It is either present in the form of chromatin. It appears as chromatin in non-dividing cells, and it appears as chromosomes in dividing cells. Okay, and we discussed this is the structure of the DNA, and genes that make up the DNA molecule, they code for different proteins, and this is nucleolus. Okay, nucleolus, it is present in the nucleus like this. Okay, inside the nucleus, and it disappears when the cell division takes place or when the cell divides. The function of the nucleolus, it helps in making ribosomes that make proteins. What does that mean is ribosomes is a cell organelle which is also known as the protein factory of the cell. Why? Because the protein synthesis takes place in the ribosomes. Okay, so this nucleolus, it helps in making the ribosomes, which on the other hand help in protein synthesis. Okay, so this is about the nucleus and nucleolus. We shall now move ahead and discuss about mitochondria. Before that, you can see a table which is on page number 21, in which you can find the organelles which plant cells and which are present in animal cells. Girls, you need to check out this table and also memorize it if required. It gives you a clear understanding of which organelles are present in animal cells and which are present in plant cells. Okay, the mitochondria on page number 22 from your textbook. You can see the photographs of mitochondria taken with a light microscope and an electron microscope. These are the photomicrographs, and you can see the structure of the mitochondria. They are found in almost all cells except those of prokaryotes. Okay, they are present in all the eukaryotic cells, both plant and animal cells, but they are absent in the prokaryotic cells. So you can see this is the structure, how it looks like. Mitochondria are the powerhouses of the cell. They are popularly known as the powerhouses of the cell. Why? Because they help in generating ATP. Have you ever heard of the term ATP, my dears? Do you know what is ATP? No one? Okay, ATP is the energy currency of the cell. The full form is adenosine triphosphate. Okay, so it is produced as a result of the cellular respiration. Whenever we're taking oxygen, during digestion, when the glucose is broken down, this energy is released so that we can carry out our daily activities. So this energy, which is released, it is known as ATP. So this is produced in the mitochondria. That is why the mitochondria is given the name powerhouse of the cell. Okay, so inside them, oxygen is used to release energy from glucose in the process called aerobic respiration. So did you get it out about aerobic respiration over here, Laila, when you were studying this? Okay, never mind. The respiration in which oxygen is involved, all of us, who all need oxygen to survive, they all undergo aerobic respiration. Okay, and anaerobes are the organisms or bacteria which can survive even without the presence of oxygen, and the respiration which takes place in anaerobes is known as anaerobic respiration. Okay, so for most of us, the aerobic respiration itself takes place. So not surprisingly, cells. Girls, can you hear me? Did I unmute? I'm just, you're with me, right? Girls?
Yes, with you. Yes,
please. Okay.
Miss, we can hear you, but I think that you're going too fast.
Okay, do you want me to slow down?
A little bit.
Okay, sure.
If you don't mind.
Thank you for the suggestion. No, you should tell me whenever I'm going very fast or whenever you don't understand something, please stop me. Okay, sweetie. So not surprisingly, cells that use a lot of energy, they have a lot of mitochondria. Okay, so though the mitochondria, they are present in each and every cell, they are present in large numbers in the cells which use a lot of energy. For example, our muscle cells. We need muscle cells for each and every moment we do, right? Whether we are sitting, walking, talking, lifting a book or writing, we use our muscles itself. Right? So our muscle cells, they need a lot of energy, so they contain more mitochondria, or they have more mitochondria compared to the other cells. Similarly, as you can see in your book, muscle cells, for example, are tightly packed with mitochondria. Similarly, the sperm cells, which are present in males, they need energy to swim to the egg. Okay, so even they contain a lot of mitochondria. And neurons, our nerve cells, they carry stimuli to various organs in our body. That means they carry orders from the brain to the various organ systems or organelles in our organs in our body. So even these neurons, they need a lot of energy to transmit the nerve impulses. So even they have a larger number of mitochondria. Okay, so the muscle cells, the sperm cells, and our nerve cells, all of them which need a lot of energy to perform their functions, they have more number of mitochondria in their cells compared to the other cells. So the black spots in the electron micrograph, that is, they are talking about the picture which you see in your textbook on page number 22. So the picture taken with the electron microscope, in which the black spots which you see, they are the granules of a carbohydrate called glycogen. This is similar to starch. Now, did I explain it to you about glycogen, girls? Did I tell you what is glycogen? Hello? Yes or no? No?
No, miss. No.
Okay. Okay. Glycogen is basically the energy reserves of the body. When we consume our food and after the process of cellular respiration, the energy is produced, right? So this energy, it is used for our daily activities, and the excess energy, it is stored in our body in the form of glycogen. Okay, so these are known as glycogen reserves, and we use these glycogen reserves whenever we need extra energy. For example, whenever you're taking part in sports or vigorous exercise or a marathon, or maybe during the Ramadan, wherein you eat only a little during the dawn, but still you have enough energy throughout the day. So it is because during those days, whenever your body needs excess energy, or maybe you're fasting, you need more energy. In those days, these glycogen reserves are used up. Okay, so the excess energy in our body, it is stored in the form of glycogen. So these black spots which you can see are the glycogen, which is stored energy in the body. So this is similar to the starch. Starch is never found in animal cells. They store glycogen instead. Obviously, this is like the starch. It is present in plants. The same way glycogen, it is present in animals or humans. The plants, they store the excess energy in the form of starch, whereas we store the excess energy in the form of glycogen. And glycogen is a reserve fuel, as I just told you. And when required, it can be broken down to glucose to be used as a fuel by the mitochondria in the liver cell, or transported in the blood to other cells that need it. Okay, that is why the glycogen, it is known as the energy reserve. It is stored and it is used whenever our body needs excess energy. It is converted to glucose and used up by the body. Is it clear about the concept of glycogen in mitochondria? Is it clear? Any doubts?
No, no doubt.
Okay, great. So let's also summarize from the PPT. Powerhouse of the cell, that is mitochondria, it generates cellular energy, which is ATP. The more active cells, like muscle cells and sperm cells, they have more mitochondria. And both plants and animal cells, they have mitochondria. It is the site where the cellular respiration takes place, burning glucose. This is how the structure of a mitochondria looks like. You can see it has a double membrane. This is the outer membrane, and the inner membrane, it is folded in the form of the folds known as cristae. Okay, so you can see how the inner membrane is folded. Okay, so this is in order to increase the surface area for more chemical reactions to take place. So this is what gives the mitochondria a specific structure. Whenever you see the little things in the cell, you can identify it as mitochondria with the help of its structure, with the help of these cristae, the inner folds of the inner membrane. And the material which is present inside the cristae, it is known as matrix. In the interior, it is known as the matrix. Okay, the mitochondria, they have their own DNA, and this is how the structure looks like. They are rod shaped. Whenever you see them in an animal cell, this is how they look like. I'm sorry, is this a plant cell or an animal cell?
A plant cell, because
because
the large vacuole is present, as well as the chloroplasts.
Excellent. So this is a plant cell. You can clearly see the green things, the chloroplast, the large vacuole and nucleus at the site, right? So in the plant cell, when you're able to, of course, when there is green and blue, you can say the green thing is chloroplast and the blue one is a mitochondrion. But whenever it is a black and white picture, you can make out that this rod-shaped thing is a mitochondrion with the help of its double membrane and the folded membrane inside the cristae, which you can see. Okay, so this is how they are present in the cell cytoplasm in a plant cell. And what do mitochondria do? They are the power plants of the cell. Okay, so they burn glucose to release energy, which is ATP. This is how the molecule of ATP looks like. A is adenine, and you can see the 3 phosphate groups which are attached to the ribose sugar. Okay, as it contains 3, it is known as triphosphate. So this is the structure of an ATP molecule, and this is the structure of a glucose molecule. It has a 6-carbon structure. It is C6H12O6 is the chemical formula of glucose, and this is how its molecule looks like if you want to draw the structure of a glucose molecule. Okay, the function is to store energy as ATP, the mitochondria's function, so that is about it. Now let's move on to the next cell organelle, which is ribosomes. Okay, so we are on page number 22. So even tinier structures than mitochondria that can just be seen with an electron microscope are called ribosomes. They are even smaller than mitochondria. They look like tiny dots attached to a network of membranes that run throughout the cytoplasm. So they are present in the cytoplasm either freely or they are attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay. So the network is called the rough endoplasmic reticulum. When they are attached to the endoplasmic reticulum, you can see them as black dots or like beads on the endoplasmic reticulum. So such a type of endoplasmic reticulum where the ribosomes are attached, it is known as rough endoplasmic reticulum. You can see it on in the picture in the textbook. Okay, so ribosomes may also just be scattered freely in the cytoplasm, and ribosomes are found in all types of cells. In bacteria, protista, fungi, animals, plants, all of them, they have ribosomes in their cells. Now, what is the function of ribosomes? Although they are so tiny, but we can scarcely see them even with an electron microscope. And ribosomes, they have a very important function in a cell. They are the places where proteins are made by joining amino acids together in a long chain. Okay, so it is the ribosomes in which the protein synthesis takes place. That is why they are known as the factories of the proteins, or they are known as the places where the proteins are made. So this is done according to instructions carried on the DNA in the cell's nucleus, which specify the sequence of amino acids that should be strung together to make a particular protein. Okay, so the coding for the arrangement of proteins, they get it from the nucleus in the DNA in the nucleus. So basically, the ribosome's main function is protein synthesis. They are present in the cytoplasm either freely or attached to the endoplasmic reticulum. So let's see the information we have on the slide, the PPT here. The ribosomes, they are made up of proteins and rRNA. Now, what is rRNA? You will study that in detail when you're studying about the transcription and translation and all in your further topics. So it is a type of RNA you want to know. now that it is a type of RNA. And the ribosomes, they are known as the protein factories for cell, and they join amino acids to make protein synthesis. So this is how you can see the amino group. It is combines with the carboxyl group in order to make the amino acids and to make the proteins. So this is how the ribosomes, they are present on the rough endoplasmic reticulum. You can see in this picture, this is ER, the endoplasmic reticulum, and the dots which you see on top of it, they are the ribosomes. So if they are present, it is known as a rough endoplasmic reticulum, or they are present freely in the cytoplasm like this. Okay, that's it about ribosomes. Do you have any doubts, girls? Is it clear?
Miss, can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Miss, so the endoplasmic reticulum, yes. Is it a name for like a group of ribosomes? Is it like the shape?
No. Endoplasmic reticulum is another organelle altogether. Okay, so on that organelle, these ribosomes are present sometimes. If they are attached to that endoplasmic reticulum, it is known as a rough endoplasmic reticulum. Otherwise, ribosomes, they are not grouped together in the endoplasmic reticulum. Both of them, they are different organelles. We will study about endoplasmic reticulum also further now.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Miss.
You're most welcome, sweetie. Okay, so the next organelle which we are going to study is the vacuoles. You have on page number 21 the information about the vacuoles. So the vacuole is a space in a cell surrounded by a membrane and containing a solution. If it is present in the large size and it plants the plant sap, it is present in the vacuole. Now what does that mean? The plant cells, they have very large vacuoles which contain a solution of sugars and other substances called cell sap. Okay, so a full vacuole presses outwards on the rest of the cell and helps to shape. So if it is in plant cells, it is present in a large size like this, and it also helps in giving a shape to the cell. Okay, so the cell shape of a plant cell is not only because of the cell wall and cell membrane, but also because of this large vacuoles which push against the cell membrane. So what do they contain? They contain the cell sap, which is a sugar solution along with other substances in it. Okay, and animal cells, they have much smaller membrane-bound spaces called vesicles, which may contain food or water. So these vacuoles, they are present in very small size in animal cells. They are either called vacuoles or vesicles, and in animal cells, they contain food and water. Okay, so these vacuoles, they are present in plant cells, and they are present, if they are present, very small or absent altogether in animal cells. So from the presentation, they are fluid-filled sacs for storage. You can see how they are present in the plant cell in this picture here. They are small or absent in animal cells. And plant cells, they have a large central vacuole, and there are no vacuoles in bacterial cells. They are present only in animal and plant cells. They are not present in bacterial or fungal cells at all. Okay, so this is how the plant cell sap is stored. They are comparing these vacuoles to these containers over here. Why? Because we use containers to store our food. Likewise, even the plants, they use these vacuoles in order to store their cell sap. It includes storage of sugars, proteins, minerals, lipids, waste, salts, water, and enzymes. So they are comparing these vacuoles to the food containers which we use. Okay, so that is about vacuoles. So let's talk about the next organelle, which is chloroplast. Now we all know the chloroplasts, they are present only in plants, and they are never found in animal cells, but most of the cells in the green plants, in the green parts of the plant, they have them. So all the green parts of the plant, especially, they are present in larger numbers in leaves where the photosynthesis takes place. They contain the green coloring pigment, chlorophyll. The chlorophyll absorbs energy from sunlight, and this energy is then used for making food for the plant by photosynthesis. Okay, so this green pigment chlorophyll, which is present in the chloroplast, it helps in the process of photosynthesis by absorbing the energy from the sunlight. Okay, so it is the main pigment which helps in the process of photosynthesis, cause the entire process of photosynthesis takes place in the chloroplast. Okay, so chloroplast often contains starch grains which have been made by the photosynthesis. And animal cells never contain starch grains. Some animal cells, however, do have granules of another substance similar to starch called glycogen. Now, we already spoke about what is glycogen. Like the plants, they store the excess glucose in the form of starch grains in the chloroplast. Similarly, we store excess energy in the form of glycogen in our liver. Now, these granules are found in the cytoplasm and not inside the chloroplast. Okay. So from the plant, from the PPT here, you can see the chloroplasts. They are found only in producers, meaning the organisms which make their own food. They use energy from sunlight to make the food, which is glucose. And energy from sun is stored in the chemical bonds of the sugars. Okay, so when you're studying in detail about the process of photosynthesis, you can break it into light-dependent reactions and light-independent reactions. Okay, so for all the light dependent reactions, the energy from the sunlight is very, very important, and it is captured by chlorophyll, which is present in the chloroplast. Now, this is how the structure of the chloroplast looks like. Okay, the chloroplast, they contain their own DNA. The chloroplast also contains enzymes and pigments for photosynthesis. They are never present in animal or bacterial cells, and photosynthesis is a process in which the food is made. So the chloroplast structure is, you can see the grana and stroma. These stacked coin-like structures which you can see over here, it is grana. Okay, in the grana, the light-dependent reactions for photosynthesis take place, and the material which you see outside of grana, it is known as stroma. Okay, so in stroma, the light-independent reactions takes place. So basically, the entire process of photosynthesis, it takes place in the chloroplast itself. So this is how the structure of the chloroplast looks like. So we are done with the presentation. Let's check also from the textbook if we left out something. Any doubts so far about any organelle, girls? Any doubts or questions? Girls, is it clear? Everything?
Yes, miss.
Yeah, no doubts?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, great. So we are done with all the organelles from the textbook as well as the presentation. We have one more information known as micrometers in the textbook. On page number 23, it is basically how we measure the cells. So cells and structures inside them, such as mitochondria and ribosomes, are so small that we need a very small unit to measure them. So the smallest unit to measure these microscopic organisms is known as a micrometer, which is written as μm. Okay, so the symbol of this micrometer is mu and m. So 1 mu meter is equal to 1 into the 10 to the power of minus 6 meters. So that is how small 1 mu meter can be. So so if a cell's diameter, it is being measured in a mu meter, means you cannot see it even with the help of a light microscope. You need the magnification of an electron microscope to see such small things. Okay. So 1 meter is equal to 10 to the power of 6 mu meters. So with this we are done. I want you all to complete all the end of the chapter questions we have here. 2.3, 2.4, 2.5. Okay girls, this is your homework. And you have 2 activities over here. This we will do inshallah when you are back at school. By observing a cell under a microscope. You turn the page and you have more questions here about the same topic from 2.6 to 2.19. I don't want you to do all this at a stretch, so do it slowly. I know that you even have your quizzes, so whenever you find time, please complete all these questions and send them to me. You may ask me if you have any doubts. Is it clear, girls? Let me also show you the notes which I sent to you yesterday. Please go through it, study from it. It is very, very detailed and each and every information. You have it in the notes here. Okay, particularly like this, you have the cell, its function and adaptations of each and every type of cell. Okay, so these are the extra informations given in the notes, so you might be asked these questions in your IGs. Okay, so you may go through it, and if you have any doubts you can ask me. This is a nerve cell and this is a blood cell. They're showing the various types of cells. The sperm cell, this is how it looks like. Okay, and this is an egg cell. Okay, so if you don't have any doubts, we can move ahead and start our next topic, which is cells and organisms 2.2. It is also a very small topic. So once we are done, we will be done with chapter 2. Okay, girls, how much time more is left?
We have like 2 minutes.
2 minutes left. So let us go through this notes itself. So it is very interesting. You can see this is the egg cell, and here you have information about a root hair cell. Root hair cell is the cell which is present on the root hairs of a plant, and about the xylem vessel, the palisade, mesophyll cell. All this information you have in your textbook. For the next topic, which is for the cells and organisms, we need to study all this. Okay, girls, and see, what is this? This is a xylem structure. Xylem is the you can say it is the tissue which is present in the plants, xylem and phloem. This is the plant palisade mesophyll cell, which we discussed already in the presentation. We also have the same picture in your textbook. And the levels of organization, here you can see the various levels: the cells, tissues, organs, organ systems, how they come together to form an organism. Okay, so this is shown here. Okay, you also have exam tips, so you may go through them. Give me a moment. Okay, so here you see the various organ systems wherein there is clear explanation about shoot system, root system, digestive, circulatory, immune, respiratory, excretory, nervous, reproductive system, everything in detail. And identifying levels of organization in, you can see this is the plant. Okay, this is how the leaf looks like, and this is the cell inside the leaf. What are the levels of organization of the labeled structures? So you even have the various questions here. So please go through the notes and study from them. In our next lesson, inshallah, we shall study from the notes itself. I will go through it. See, this is the size of the specimens, and I showed you clearly as to how you need to do the calculations, if at all there are questions on calculations also. Okay, girls, so here you can see clearly. All right. Okay, in the next lesson we shall discuss the next topic, inshallah. If you have any doubts, please send me a message on private chat or group chat. Okay, girls?
Okay, thank you, Miss.
Okay, you're most welcome. See you in the next class.
Have a nice day, Miss.